Oscar De La Hoya clout chases on behalf of Ryan Garcia, says he wants to make the Gervonta Davis fight this year. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, y'all know what to do. Subscribe to the channel. Now, Oscar De La Hoya said he's aiming for Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis super fight this year in 2022. What are my thoughts? What does Ego have to say about this? We don't believe you. You need more people. I personally don't believe De La Hoya. I think boxing is getting very sad with this type of behavior. He did this interview with TMZ, as you guys can see. But boxing is getting very sad with this type of behavior of just clout chasing. The bottom line is Ryan Garcia has had a long layoff. Ryan Garcia has been out of the ring over a year at this point. And the bottom line is Ryan Garcia is fighting an unknown commodity with a loss, Emmanuel TOGOS. So he's fighting TOGOS Sandwich. And in true fashion, Golden Boy fashion, and this is what old media tends to do, when in doubt, bring up somebody else. So that seems to be the thing that boxing is doing, where I call it clout chasing. You're riding somebody else's coattail. Needless to say, rumors and reports came out that Gervonta Davis and Rolly is being rescheduled, as it should. Rolando Romero was robbed of an opportunity to fight against Gervonta Davis the first time because there were some accusations. Now that has been cleared up, he should get the opportunity that he already had because he was the mandatory. So to me, it just looks bad because this, if you listen to what I'm saying, I promise you it makes sense. You got Ryan Garcia fighting someone that is unheralded, unknown, doesn't have a big brand. You know, it's not a big fight. And Oscar De La Hoya is now saying that in the back half of the year, he wants Ryan to fight Gervonta Davis. Well, seeing is believing, especially since Ryan Garcia has pulled out of several fights at this point. I'm not believing anything. This looks like an awkward attempt to clout chase. You have an event and you need to sell it. This is what they did to Mayweather. Now they're doing it to Mayweather's protege, Gervonta Davis. You take something that's hot, you take something that's, sizzling in the streets, and you try to attach and leech onto it and link your name to it. That's what this looks like for Oscar De La Hoya in regards to Ryan Garcia. He says the super fight been years in the making, and it may finally be on the verge of happening because King Rise promoter Oscar De La Hoya, legendary fighter, tells us he wants to make the bout this year. TMZ talked to De La Hoya, who was promoting Ryan Garcia's ring return versus Emmanuel TOGOS April 9th on DAZN, when the conversation turned into a possible title fight with Tank this year. Quote, the perfect scenario is Ryan Garcia versus Tank, right? The crazy part is Floyd Mayweather is Tank's promoter and I'm Ryan Garcia's promoter, so it will be. Just imagine me and Floyd putting on the gloves after Ryan and Tank. It would be the Super Bowl of boxing. Now, again, just the fact that he added that Super Bowl and is still talking about fighting Floyd Mayweather, who already beat him, that lets me know that they're nowhere near making this fight happen, or in any position of power, because De La Hoya is all over the place. He just did an interview and Oscar De La Hoya said that he's done and he's not talking about retirement anymore. But then as soon as he clout chases Tank in this interview, he's still talking about Floyd Mayweather and him fighting, and Floyd just turned like 45, 46 or something, and he's older than that. So it just looks bad. And Ryan Garcia is the active fighter. It seems like he would be concerned that his promoter wants the spotlight still. De La Hoya has had his moment as a fighter. Now he's supposed to be the promoter, but he keeps talking about fighting. And then the last time he was supposed to fight with Vitor Belfort, he pulled out and said he was injured, or he said he was sick with the Rona. So I'm not believing this. De La Hoya keeps clout chasing Floyd Mayweather, and now he's doing the same thing for his fighter, Ryan Garcia. I don't even know what PBC's relationship is with Golden Boy. They haven't, barring maybe, and I don't even offhand can think of any kind of working fight that they put together, but I don't remember any Golden Boy featuring a premier boxing champions fighter, especially a big fight that was non-mandated or no mandatory type of situation where the two parties and the two entities just got together to create a fight. So between Ryan's inconsistency and inactivity in the ring, not knowing what happens in the Manuel Togo fight, the news that broke today that Gervonta Davis and Rolly are going to fight on Showtime pay-per-view, and that is being rescheduled, and Oscar clout chasing Floyd, it gives me no hope that Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia is anywhere close. I think this is what's happening in boxing, this type of clout chasing. It's like, hey, fans aren't necessarily interested in the fight we actually made, the fight that we actually have scheduled on the books, because even if he fought a guy that just lost to Tank in Isak Pitbull Cruz, I would love to see that fight a lot more than Emmanuel Togos, but they couldn't even get that right. Easy alley-oop, because the Gervonta Davis fight brought out guys like LeBron James, and it made all the sense in the world to make that fight. But De La Hoya, they want Ryan obviously with the softer look and, you know, an easier touch, so they didn't put him in with Isak Pitbull Cruz, and now they're trying to use Tank Davis's name to sell this event, and that's, I see through it like Windex, clear as day. Tank is lit, despite what old media tells you. And it's funny because old media says that Tank ain't lit and nobody cares about Tank, and Ryan Garcia himself said that Tank is bigger. So explain why you're a promoter to sell your event, because we know Ryan Garcia is not as lucrative as Tank. The numbers will show you that. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. But beyond that, your promoter is using Tank's name to try to pitch this fight that you're nowhere close to actually making happen. Leonard Ellerbe and Mayweather Promotions tried to make the Ryan Garcia fight, and his team said, oh, he had other arrangements and he was allegedly fighting Pacquiao and all this other stuff. So I seeing is believing, put it that way. But for Ryan to say he's a bigger star than Tank Davis is laughable, because if that was the case, then it seems like you would be the one being called out by everybody. But instead, Tank's name is being mentioned by everybody, including his own promoter, Ryan's promoter, Oscar De La Hoya. So holla at me when Golden Boy actually puts together one of the fights that they're talking about putting together, instead of just doing this, because to me, it's just clout chase. Other than that, it's just going to be clout chasing where you are suggesting something. It's the same thing. This is the oldest trick in the book. This is what they did for Top Rank did for Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Floyd was putting up the live gates and the biggest live gates and making the biggest events still. And to sell Pacquiao, they kept attaching Floyd and Mayweather's name. Even when Pacquiao's fighting Brandon Rios off a loss, and they were both coming off a loss, and Pacquiao's fighting Jesse Vargas, or he was fighting against Chris Algieri or whoever, they kept using Mayweather's name and likeness to allude to that fight being next and create headlines and things like that. This is exactly what's happening here, which shows me that Ryan Garcia is not a bigger star than Tank, because guess what? When Ryan fights, De La Hoya is mentioning Tank, which has nothing to do with it. You won't even fight Tank's leftovers, Isak Pitbull Cruz. So when Tank and Rolly gets announced, unless the media, because there's a lot of people in old media, they might ask the question, but Tank, Leonard Ellerbe, Mayweather Promotions, Floyd, they don't have to keep bringing up Ryan, because they have a hot event with Rolly. Rolly's going to do his share of trash talking. Tank's going to do his thing, and that's it. So I think we need to get back to classic boxing, where whatever fights you decide to put on, you need to build based on those organically. If Ryan's fighting Emmanuel Togo, tell me why I should watch that. Tell me why I should pay for that, instead of trying to elude and hint and suggest that he's fighting somebody that there's no groundwork for him to fight. Boom. Let me know how I did in this video. And I'm out. Future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster.